Hello everybody, it is President's Day today, and I figured, why not, as part of President's Day, play a game to help us empathize a little bit more with the difficulty of being a president. So, let's see, we're gonna go with the United States. And here's a bunch of information about the United States. We're gonna do term length of 4 years, I think that's normal. The player's party. Can I name myself? I can. Let's just call my party the Humanity Party. Whoa. Opposition Party, the Jehovah Party. I don't know. Let's who opposes people? Let's just say the other parties. If you're not voting for me, you're voting for a different group, right? So there's a 2-term limit in the United States, and you serve for 4 years per term. We can have hurricanes, sure. We have earthquakes, and definitely no compulsory voting or monarchy. Political apathy. I think this is all set to settings for the United States, so it seems pretty good there already. So yeah, my party is going to be focused on looking at things a little bit more simply. Alright, well, you'll see what my policies are. Welcome to Democracy 3. You have just started your first term as president, and as your chief of staff, I'm here to explain how things work. The icons below show you a few key indicators of the state of our country. You know, I might need this a little bit, but I did go through a long tutorial before this. I read 14 pages of information on this so that I'd know how to play for you guys. I'm a bit sick too. Let's see. Press the button in the window below marked begin term of office to start governing. Let's just start. Congratulations on your election victory. Welcome to your new job as president. The lives of all 316,668,000 citizens are now in your hands. As you will imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible while keeping an eye on the long-term improvement of your citizens' quality of life. Plus, do not forget that you face re-election in 4 years, so you will need to monitor the opinion polls and our party membership. Good luck. Okay. Our GDP is down. It's not something that I find super important. Health is really down. That's something I care about a lot. Education is important. It's up, but it's probably declining. Unemployment is at a high rate. Crime's at a high rate, and poverty's at a high rate. So the biggest things for me will be to improve education, and I'm hoping that through improving education and improving healthcare, that our poverty levels will lower, our crime rate will lower. I'm not super interested in GDP right now. I'll see where that goes as I focus on what I find to be more important. Unemployment as well. See, unemployment might be high, but as long as our people are doing the right things with their time, you know, not sitting around miserable and depressed, but improving themselves and progressing, at some point they will benefit society. Okay, so this is our country, and these are all the different policies and different things that are connected together. See, we got poor earnings in the economy. This is welfare, foreign policy, transport policy, order and law, public services, and tax. So I think let's go first to economy and start exploring these things over here. Space program, pollution. Let's see, pollution. We've got environmental policies that are affecting that. I think that we don't need to look too big into this right now. We just became president, and it's time for us to start looking at our policies. We've got I've got 25 political capital this turn. We made $1,198.33 billion, and we're losing $1,270 billion. We've got a deficit of $72.44 billion right now. Let's work on lowering that deficit. We'll become more self-reliant as we are no longer reliant on other people and the state of the global economy. This is our intelligence briefing. It looks like we have minimal threats. We have a very ineffective armed police and intelligence service, it seems, right now. But people aren't going to want to kill us until we start making real change. This is our polling. We don't really need to focus on this too much. Okay. Quit tutorial. We don't really need to focus on this too much either right now because we just got elected. So let's look at our expenditure. We're spending a lot on military spending, and I'm fine with us spending a decent amount on military spending. We need to have some sort of military to help keep ourselves safe from foreign threat, but I don't think that our primary threat right now is a land attack on us. So I'm thinking that we could put a little bit less on military spending and start working a little bit more on state schools, state health service, and definitely road building infrastructure as well. We're going to work on mental health stuff as well, and I think as we work on those, other things should become, we should start to raise money for other programs as well. In other words, our system will be focused on helping those who are suffering the most to suffer less, and that will hopefully trickle up. Okay, we got a pretty good efficiency. Our debt looks like it's continuing to rise. Our reserves have stayed the same. Our income has stayed about the same. Our expenditure has been pretty high too. Okay, time to look at policy ideas. So we got a lot of different things that we could implement, and we got about 25 power to put input to start policies. We're going to need to do education ones early so that by the end of my time in office, they're going to start seeing a little bit of improvement, possibly some change from that. I only get 8 years at most, so I hope that whatever I do while in office will change the future. Okay, I know that my constituents who got me into office aren't entirely happy about this, but I'm going to probably implement the child benefit tax, a fixed payment made by the state directly to parents to assist in the cost of bringing up children. Popular with parents for obvious reasons, and the poor who see it as a redistributive tax, but capitalists are opposed to such unnecessary level of interference by government. Alright, so let's not think about this, guys, in the confusing ideas of it's government doing this. Government is people. I'm the person right now who is deciding or talking about signing this policy into place, right? So let's look at this in terms of people. We have taxes that are coming in, and some of those taxes, yes, are from us who are working hard every single day in jobs that are not the job that I am doing right now. Oil rigging and mining and cashiering and just any sort of job. They're hard. But there's a lot of capital that comes in as well from taxing the import and export of products and from big companies. And I know that some people think about okay, well, the more money I make, I don't want more of that taken from me. And yes, if your goal is to save up and keep all of the money that you ever have and then give it to your children for generation after generation and make sure that your progeny not only succeed in life but flourish and have, but I guess not even flourish isn't a great word for it. People can have a lot of money and not be happy, right? So we see that we tend to see that people who have a lot of money and are happy are people who give back to the community. And I think that if a government could pass something like the child benefit tax, or the child benefit policy, that this would be saying, hey, what do we do when we as a people pool our wealth together and have so much wealth that we have some left over? What do? We use that wealth to help support those who are raising children who need that help. We use... I'm putting it into action. A fixed payment made by the state directly to parents. It's due to popularity with voters. It'll take a little while to implement. Capitalists don't really like that, but poor, equality, parents, liberals, parents, they really like it. People with poor earnings. So how much are we going to implement this? I don't know. I don't think we need to... We don't need to be too strong on this. We'll just see. It costs $57.3 billion per quarter. That's a thing I'm going to have to remember, that my policies cost. We are not. We are at a deficit. We need to figure out a policy to help us to make some money. Okay, so a policy idea that I'm going to do to hopefully help increase the our ability to pay off our debts will be this business startup campaign in the economy. Many people have brilliant ideas, yet only a few of them dare to take the steps necessary to take up their own little business around their idea. The campaign will help these people out, informs them what they need to do, where they need to go, and what permits they need to get. This will help a great deal and make self-employed people happy. So let's implement this. And it's pretty dang cheap to invest in, and I hope that what will happen over time is that people will be able to, especially those in the unemployed sector, will figure out how to flourish and use their special talents to help provide to the welfare and health of all of the people. To round out my ideas for things that are going to take a while to implement, we're going to go with free parenting classes. Having a newborn child can be very taxing and exhausting for new parents. By introducing these free classes, parents can learn how to deal with the situation, how to raise their babies and have a normal life at the same time. It won't make the babies cry less, but it will make the parents more stress resistant and aware. Plus, they will meet other parents in the same situation. Yeah, so more communication between people in my society. That's great. We want people to really thrive in this community. Okay, one of the things that can put a little bit of stress off of us and our roads will be a telecommuting initiative, a working from home initiative, which is desirable because it reduces the pressure on the transport infrastructure and can be an improvement to people's quality of life. So the way I'm thinking about it is we implement with people a telecommuting initiative, and those people who are learning from home and the impoverished, they'll learn how to make these small businesses and possibly work with others from home offices. We'll have less congestion on the roads and possibly make it even safer for cycling, which comes along with our goal in transport, which we have no money for. Okay, so for economy, we're going to put in Catherine Cook. She likes economy. Oh, never mind. Can't pick one yet. Takes capital, I guess. Okay, time to move on to the next part. Lining up retirement directorships. Click to return to government. Let's see what happened. This is our quarterly report. It will highlight some key indicators which impact upon the current state of the country. Plus, there may be other information you need to be aware of. Urgent dilemmas may appear that need your attention this quarter. Anyway, I can see you have a lot to attend to, so I'll let you get to work. I'm sure the government is in safe hands for now. Well, you'd think that. Well, let's see what happened, though. Our gross domestic product went down. We can assume that that would happen because we did some more spending than we needed to. I can't tell. I think our health and education stayed about the same. I have a feeling they'll go up, though. Our unemployment remains unchanged. Crime remains unchanged. Poverty. We got our credit rating downgraded, but hey, that was going to happen to the United States soon anyway. The global economy is doing well, and this is having a positive effect on the GDP. We are not liked by most of the voters, but hopefully they will change their minds as they see the policies come into play. We have a BB in our credit rating. That's not great. Cabinet is loyal. Let's get going. Okay. We're at a deficit. We've got 25 on our total political capital. Let's get to work. Okay, one of the first things that I think that we should do this quarter with our work is to raise some money to cut down on the deficit. So we're going to go to the capital gains tax, and this is taxes on people for selling stuff on the stock market, and this is also for people who are selling properties. So this is for people who buy a lot of properties and invest in those properties. And we're going to raise it somewhat to increase our income from that. I think that if you're at the point where you can buy multiple houses and sell multiple houses, that some of the profit from selling that house can go towards helping those who are less fortunate to get to the same place as you. Because it's not a race, guys. We don't need to race to see who can get to the top first and stay up there on their own. If you get to the top first, help others up. It might lower you back down a little bit, but that's okay. You got up there, and now there are more people at the same level as you. All right, so guys, I've got an idea for this quarter's policies. I've got a punitive tax on superstores that I think should be pretty helpful. The argument there is that superstores reduce the amount of local businesses, and we've seen an uptick in the unemployment rate in places where these superstores show up. They do hire a lot of people at first, but when you have one store covering what multiple other stores did, and have those other stores go out of business, then you need to, and they're reducing the amount of employees in these superstores because of other technology. So in the end, you have less people working, and for oftentimes less benefits because of these superstores. So the argument here would be some of the income that they get from cutting out people in the stores and from cutting out competition, some of that income should go back into helping provide for the people who this competition has put out of business. Because once again, guys, it's not a race. Whoever made the superstore figured out a really good way to get on top, and that's great for them. But we got to make sure that everybody works together to get everyone up on top. So we've got this punitive tax on superstores, punitive meaning punishment. I don't think we should call it a punitive tax myself. I think that we should, let's see, we don't have any implementation right now. What would this mean? 75%? I don't know. I don't know what this percentage means. Like, I don't think we're taxing 75% of their income. I think it's like 75% effectiveness or something. But yeah, we can increase our tax on these businesses, and it should help. Those businesses aren't going to go out of business, but we might be able to make it so that we have more funds for helping other people to rise up. We just did a plastic bag tax in Washington State, and I don't think it's been too bad for us, and it seems to raise some money as well, but it's not very popular with the voters. Let's get them educated on it a little bit better first. And we're going to save some of our political capital for next quarter and push forward and see how we did. Okay. So our GDP has not gone down anymore. That's good. Our health and education stayed the same. Unemployment's gone up. Yeah, it looks like there's an uptick in unemployment. I'm not sure the causes. It's saying what unemployment went down because of these things, but went up because of a little bit of benefit, technology, productivity, immigration, the gross domestic product. So we're making more money, but there are fewer people working. Well, hey, we got a bigger poll. More people like us. That's good. The Church of Christ are holding a town hall meetings to express their anger. That's kind of funny. I mean, in the New Testament, the people kind of gather together and pool their resources. So there's an urgent policy question that requires my immediate attention. Ban alcohol adverts. Advertising of alcohol on television. Although it would remain legal to advertise on radio, billboards, and other means, a TV ban is seen as a potential way to reduce alcohol intake by our citizens. Ugh. I don't think we should ban their ability to advertise that. Currently, I don't think we have a good argument for being able to do that. Looks like we're on the roll again. We've got 30 plus 30 income, so I think that this time, plus 30 on our ability to pass laws. And not a car tax, not hybrid cars. There's not an income tax. Or maybe it was income tax that I was looking at. Yeah, we're going to raise corporation taxes. This is something that I think a lot of people would really like, and very few people really dislike. Some people would argue a lot for why you don't want to increase corporation tax, but honestly, corporations make a lot of money for the country. What is a corporation? It's a conglomeration of people. Some of the people at the top really want to hold on to all that income, but the resources they get are from everyone else working together. So we all benefit when that wealth is shared. Let's apply these changes. You guys are learning a lot about me, I guess, from this. So we're at plus 11. Our deficit's at 90.4 billion right now. Hopefully that tax will be implemented over time. All right, and this one doesn't have very much popularity right now with the voters either, but hopefully they'll come in time to like it. I'm sure the news is probably making them feel a little more against this, but an automation tax. As companies use less and less people, those companies are going to make more and more money without having people. Automation tax. This one, I think, is not very popular with the people right now, but I think over time they'll learn to understand why I want to implement this. These companies are using more and more automated machines to do the work, and so that's fewer people doing that work. We're not going to just have all of the jobs that we need to have those people move into, and oftentimes those people were more fulfilled in the kinds of jobs that they are being replaced from. So I don't even know if that's true, but I do want to say that with fewer people working in these jobs, that's fewer people working. We're not going to find a place for all of these people in other job fields, and hirers aren't going to want to hire these people, all of these people in other job fields. So the question becomes, how do these people gain support? Are we going to all have our own farms? Or what's going to happen? For now, I think one of the things that we'll need to do is have companies that are run by a few people that help take care of the whole country. Those companies are generating profit, and the profit will go towards the benefit of the people who live in those countries. That makes sense, right? So, not very popular. Oh, raising and lowering it's free. Interesting. We're going to go hard on it, and then we're going to adjust that if we need to over time. And we'll move on to next. Inventing the internet. Okay, we're turning to government. Our GDP is the same, health the same. Nothing has changed. But we've got rubbish tip protests, whatever that means. Green protesters have staged a noisy protest at the location of a proposed landfill site on the outskirts of one of our cities. Local people are also angry at the placement of the site. Campaigners say the government needs to do more to encourage recycling and reduce waste unless they want to find yet more sites for landfill and face more protests. Okay, that's good information to know. Global economy is doing well. We're at about 40% in the election. That's okay. Members of the Wildlife Trust are bad-mouthing the government on the internet, so we need to do more for nature. That's good to know. Hey, look at this. We got a surplus. That's good. All right. One of the things we're going to do this quarter is the policy for free parenting classes has been doing really great. So we're going to increase this to a nice high funding, and we're at surplus, so we don't need to worry too much about that. And state schools and education, right now they're sharing textbooks. So let's get I don't think we all need laptops, but let's get modern textbooks, yeah? Let's get our kids learning and understanding their world around them. To some, it may be an unwelcome distortion of the energy market, but we're going to make our next big policy clean energy subsidies. We've got a lot of oil right now, but if we change this early enough, then we can have good, clean energy and better health for our people overall. Along with our clean energy program, we're going to also implement the smart meter program, teaching people how to use these meters to more productively use energy in their home. It will reduce the costs of individuals, it will reduce individual costs, and also increase awareness of how energy works and how people spend energy. I think we're good. Let's move on. Okay, everyone, the GDP went down again. I don't know what I'm doing. Health is in the tank still. Education is doing fine. Unemployment hasn't gone down. Crime and poverty are pretty much the same. Let's talk about the debt protection law. Debt collection agencies have been in the news because of the aggressive methods they are using to extract payment from people who owe large sums of money. These debt collection agencies provide credit to people whom larger, more respectable companies will not lend money. A law is proposed to limit the ways in which such agencies can operate. These agencies are preying on the weakest and poorest, often tricking them into borrowing money at exorbitant rates that can never be repaid. Okay, yeah, that is extortion. I would agree. Nobody forces people to borrow money they can't repay. Yeah, but you can be put into a situation in which you're willing to pay anything, and people will take advantage of that. These people should not take advantage, and if they are not stopping themselves, then we want there to be a something that happens if they choose to do that, if they choose to extort people. We want a consequence. So we'll have to enact a consequence because it doesn't seem like currently, according to our laws, there is a consequence for that. So we're at 28. Well, we're working on getting poverty levels down and everything. So what are we working on next? Okay, I know this is going to be crazy, but for the first thing I'm going to do in my third term, or in my third quarter of this year, I'm going to drop our military spending to highly trained. It's going to reduce our income a lot from military, but it's okay. I know people will probably panic. That took away so much of our political might. Okay, one of the things we're going to do as we've lowered our military spending is we're going to raise our food stamps spending. Okay, I think we're going to save our capital because we're going to do something big next time. We're going to work on a state health service. really change this government around and see what happens. Hey, unemployment is going up, but poverty is going down. Interesting. Unemployment will continue to go up over time. Looks like we are liked a little bit more. Ooh, our credit rating is lower? Maybe? BBB? Or is it higher? Let's see, we have a surplus right now. So why is our credit rating going down? Are we not paying our debts? Let's improve the state health service. This is going to be pretty dang expensive, so we're going to only bring it to... Ooh, wow, this is going to be pretty drastic. I want excellent health. We can't do that yet. That will be too much of a riot. We'll do some preventative care. I think this is something that will cause big changes over time. So we need to take that into account and change our taxes on some other stuff. So let's raise our capital gains taxes a little bit more. And let's see what we have off of that. There's also the possibility that I don't know what I'm doing at all. Stress epidemic, great. Doctors have warned that our businesses are working people too hard, which is leading to dangerously high levels of stress for people with full-time jobs. There are calls for limits on the hours that people work to be better enforced by central government. So people are being worked too hard. So if we just punish those businesses through laws, it will be easy for them to make arguments at why we shouldn't be doing that. So what we should do is make it so that people are not incentivized to work those extra hours at those places, but are instead incentivized to spend their time. Man, people need to like spend money better. And like, all right, guys, to decrease the amount of people who are struggling, we're going to have home fabrication grants. We're going to have subsidies for people who want to 3D print parts for domestic products from home. That way, individual people can kind of become, in some way, the factories, those who want to. We're going to get those grants going, but I don't know how many of our citizens will actually take use of them. I've been interested in public tax returns because, like, this is just showing how much money you make, and I don't think we should be afraid of that, personally. I think, yes, people could potentially use that against you, but it also protects, like, it just puts it out in the open what taxes people pay. So it allows the public to monitor the rich to make sure that they are not using loopholes and abusing the tax system. We'll see some details probably would be good here. We don't need to give them their address, but most details. And let's see what comes next. GDP, everything's about the same. Credit rating upgraded. Oh yeah. The credit rating is now an A. Okay, we're still in surplus. Everything is going pretty well. Moving along. I wonder how long I have until my next election. Alright guys, here's the next important part of business, I think. We need to work on getting people out of prisons and changed. We need people that love these people and understand that the reason that they are the way they are is their history, and all of the things in their life that has brought them there. And we need to redirect them towards positive thinking and help. Alright guys, subsidized school buses should also help reduce the amount of traffic on the roads, which hopefully will also reduce the amount of exhaust in the air and pollution in the air, which should help decrease this crazy asthma epidemic. Okay, we're going to try to do something big next quarter with our labor laws. So we're going to try to push them more towards being in favor of the individuals. And remember that the people who start these businesses are individuals until after they become a corporation too. So this is benefiting all people, and it just helps keep the bureaucracy of a corporation at bay. Returning to government, our GDP is down, our health is same as it was, unemployment, crime, everything's pretty much the same. We want to see if there's a public smoking ban. You know, it's legal to smoke. We should care about where we smoke. But I think that care needs to be done by the people who are telling each other. Let's see. The opposition has more party members than us. Guys, well, I promise, if we keep on working on this train, things may get really cool for us. We might end up having a lot of improvement. We've just changed a lot of the working conditions and changed the labor laws to make them balanced, but on pretty close to, more towards the people, I'd say, than towards the companies. We just want to make sure that companies aren't manipulated by people too. But there are a lot of things in place to keep that from happening, I would say. So, the biggest things are just limiting greed and spreading equity so that we all improve together, right? So, do we need to work on pollution controls? Let's do major fines, because we know that those don't. Let's see, that's 200. Let's do it. Major fines are important so that we can keep them from actually just paying these cheap fines and continuing to do what they were doing beforehand. It also can subsidize us doing things. Unemployment up, GDP down. Cool. Car company shuts plant. Unemployment goes up. Dropping car usage by citizens as well as poor labor productivity are being cited as major causes. That's okay. It reflects badly on our government, but guys, people are using less cars, and that's why it's gone down. That's fine. And look, our credit rating is upgraded to AA. It may look bad, but hey, the economy is doing okay. We're neither a boom nor bust cycle. We're doing good there. The budget has a 180 billion surplus. That's great too. We would get 64% of the vote if the vote was held tomorrow, it says. This is great. The effectiveness of our people is going up as well. So we just need to continue as we're going. We need to not panic. Capitalists are really struggling here, and I know our society was built on capitalism. That's probably part of the reason that everyone's stressed about this change happening. But guys, we can make it through. We can make a big overhaul in our society. What we really need to work on right now is getting homelessness down. We need people to feel like they have a place that they can live, so maybe we need to look at what rent control is like right now. Okay, we're going to do health food subsidies, I think. Tax incentive that makes healthy foods such as fruit and vegetables cheaper than higher fat or higher sugar foods. This should make it cheaper for people to spend their money on good food, and we have a budget opposite of a deficit, so an increase happening right now, so we should be able to spend this extra money here. Alright, let's invest in some state housing. Yes, It will be a lot of out-of-the-pocket money from us, but hopefully over time, the costs of maintaining those houses will remain only a slight cost to us, while those people who are able to get on their feet and have housing and be able to start paying more income in paying for that housing, those people should be able to benefit greatly and hopefully rise in stature. We're going to apply these changes, and we're going to look at possibly some policy ideas. Let's implement a public libraries policy for educating the people. And I'm out of clout for this one. Returning back to government. Capitalist plot. Our intelligence network has identified a potentially serious plot by a number of wealthy industrialists to force the overthrow of the government. The plot seems to be in the early stages, and we are not in a position to make arrests yet, but it is clear that some capitalists consider it desirable to engineer a replacement for the current government. You should be cautious. Thanks for the advice. Wow. The pollution situation is now at an end. That's great. Our health is increasing. Our unemployment is increasing. Our GDP is down. Our crime is about the same. Poverty is improving. So, I mean, there's a recession right now, and there's a budget deficit. So, okay. And we have to appoint a UN ambassador. Our ambassador to the UN retires this year, and we need to name a successor as soon as possible. Much will be made of whether we appoint a hardliner who sticks up for the country or someone more able to compromise. Guys, I think we need someone to compromise. Sticking up for the country on its own just keeps us from being able to improve as a human race. So, let's go with Dennis Garcia. Figure on the international stage with a reputation for solving difficult problems through compromise and understanding. A true internationalist, he's popular with the liberals and socialists in our society as well as foreign leaders. Let's do it. All right. We're going to raise corporation tax a little bit. Capitalists are going to be mad at that, but hey, capitalists want to overthrow the government, so maybe they should just move to a country that's more capitalist. Ethnic plot. Our latest security reports indicate a growing threat from the extremist organization known as the Black Power Group. It looks like a number of people are angry about the way government policies affecting ethnic minorities and see eliminating the current government by force as the only way to change things. You might want to be careful about further angering ethnic minorities if you don't want to suffer an attack on your person. Okay, so what did I do? What ethnic minority? Unemployment is going down, that's good. Bobby Gray wants to quit, but 68% of the vote in the election is on my side. We're at a deficit. Maybe it's time to kick out Bobby Gray. Alright, this person in foreign policy's got good loyalty, got good experience. They're not great at campaigning, but it's okay because I'm putting them in. So, boom. There's going to be some gossip about it, but welcome Diana Lewis. She was interested in foreign policy, so I gave her foreign policy. Hopefully her experience will increase pretty quickly. We're going to increase our small business grants, and I'm going to hope that will increase our gross domestic product over time. Invest in our people and they shall return tenfold. At least that's the way I think it'll work. I'm going to use the last of my capital to see if I can get us up to student laptops. And that's this quarter. Let's see if I died. Okay, same capitalist plot. One of my cabinet members wants to talk to me urgently. Health is going down, crime is going down, unemployment up. Why is health going down? A doctor strike. Wow. This guy just like wants to leave politics completely. Earl James. Doctor strike. Why? Intensity overtime. Oh. Let's see. But the state of our health provision and the salaries of our health workers has resulted in a national health strike. They want more money. Oh, guys. Corporate exodus. Companies are moving to other countries. That's okay, guys. We'll have a rise in small businesses here. All right, there's still hope, everyone. I feel like we should just not even meddle too much. We might need to kick out someone in our cabinet because they said they were going to leave, but it was this guy who was going to leave. He's not even doing too great anyway. Let's see. Earl James. He's in tax. We should change our tax guy. Let's see. Okay, Catherine Cook isn't the best. Or sorry, Ruby Coleman isn't the best, but she's okay at campaigning. She's very loyal, and she's got some experience. So we're going to throw Ruby Coleman in and see how she does. So I'm sorry, Chancellor. Let's get Ruby Coleman in there. Boom. Let's go. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do. The capitalist plot is continuing. Credit rating got downgraded again. It's back to a B. But it's okay, everyone. Our health is increasing. Unemployment is increasing, but crime is continuing to decrease. As crime continues to decrease, hopefully that will help influence other things in a positive way. Okay, so we've got campaign speeches available. You know, we're going to give a speech that isn't too rousing. We're going to give a speech that helps the conservatives to feel a little bit more comfortable with what they're doing. Let's see, I should probably give a speech. Conservatives, fear not. We are conserving better, and over time we will conserve better. We must conserve our people. Oh, our deficit's high. Guys, I don't know. I'm investing. I'm gonna hope that it pays off. Honestly, I think our GDP will turn around as we continue on. I have trust in it right now. Capitalist plot is still going crazy. Our budget is doing okay. We need to restrict banking bonuses. It's easy to be critical of people earning large salaries and bonuses, but the fact is we live in a globalized world and top bonuses are needed to attract top talent. Nah. For too long, bonus culture among CEOs has been left to run out of control. Bonuses are supposed to be a reward for business success, but top bank executives are taking unearned bonuses while cutting staff members. We need a law that prevents companies from paying a bonus in years where they failed to turn a profit. It depends. Well, yeah, our people for a long time have been saying restrict bonuses, so it's been lobbyists who have stopped that from happening. So let's restrict bonuses. Our deficit is at 407. What can we do about this deficit, guys? How can we balance ourselves out? All right, we're going to get some adult education subsidies, and we're going to do our best to get them enacted early. We're going to do a stamp out racism week because our ethnic groups are telling us that they are being hit with anti-ethnic community problems. And we're going to prepare for the future by getting this. Ooh, that's a lot of money, though. Maybe we won't. Climate Change Adaptation Fund, you know what? Long-term prediction system. It's going to cost us a lot of money in the short term, but we've been in debt before. Let's get going. Capitalist plot. Oil pipeline attacked. Hey, that's okay. We don't need too much oil. We've been investing in the future. We've been investing in non-oil energy. Our credit rating is now a C. That's not great. Campaign speech is available. Manifesto's fine. Let's get going. We're not going to do a manifesto. Our deficit is pretty dang high. Jeez. It's okay. We trust. What manifesto am I going to do? I'm not going to cut employment by that much because I don't know if I will. I'm not going to make any promises. I'm going to keep trying my best. I got an achievement called Green Utopia. Election results. Let's do it. Ooh. I think there's enough people seeing the good that's happening. Too bad there are more regular people than people who want to screw up the government. Or the people. There we go. You take care of the people. And the people take care of you. There you go. I am president for another term. I've been democratically elected for another term. Somehow I've managed to win over the electorate to my political views. Congratulations. Oh yeah. Green Utopia. You've made this country a green and pleasant land, free from the horrors of pollution, waste, and damage to the climate. You and the planet, thank you. Alright. And the asthma epidemic was at the end. They failed to assassinate me, but a major donor abandoned the party. They lost faith. Okay. Well, that was one term of presidency. Complicated, huh? Did anyone else feel like smashing their head into a wall? Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great President's Day. I hope this has made you see a little bit more how things lead to other things, and you've probably learned a lot about me. Take care, everyone, and have a fantastic day.